everyone, and welcome. My name is Janine, and thank you for joining me here today. Today, I have a feel good floor flow for you. So, this one is nice and gentle. We're going to take it easy and spend the duration of the practice down on the floor on your mat. So, go ahead and get yourself ready, whatever you need for today's practice, and we'll get started in a cross-legged seat. Once you found yourself in a comfortable position, just go ahead and roll your shoulders down and away from you so you can grow your spine nice and long. And if it feels good for you, maybe you'd like to close your eyes down here. Just taking a few deep, full rounds of breath to begin today's practice. Deeply breathing in through your nose, filling yourself up, and then exhaling and letting it out through your mouth. Doing that a couple more times, following your breath. And maybe if you would like to, you can bring your hands beside you so your fingertips are touching the ground. Just feeling that contact, the connection you have with the earth. Taking one more full round of breath here. As you begin your next inhale, we'll sweep our hands up to the sky. And we'll exhale as we float our palms down to the heart center. Inhale, go ahead and reach up. And exhale, bringing it down to your heart center. One more time, stretch it up, inhaling deeply. And exhale, bringing it down. From here, go ahead and blink your eyes open. And we'll roll onto our hands and knees, setting ourselves up in a tabletop pose, pushing into your hands, into the tops of your feet equally, and just beginning to sway your hips side to side here. And maybe as you do so, just gazing over your shoulder at either side as you move side to side, just getting a little bit of a side stretch here as well as some movement in the hips. Coming back to center, and we'll move through a few rounds of cat and cow. As you inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your gaze. And as you exhale, pushing the ground away from you as you arch your spine. Moving at your own pace and your own rhythm, following your breath. Just beginning to wake up the spine here. Such a great movement to do every day for the health of our spine. Completing one more round wherever you are. And go ahead and sit back onto your heels. And from here, we'll just get some circles going into the wrists. So beginning to move in one direction, really accentuating your fingers as you do so as well. And then moving the other way. And go ahead and release. From here, we'll pick up our hips just so we can move them over to the left-hand side, placing our right hand beside us, and then stretching our left hand up and overhead, coming into that nice side body stretch on the left-hand side. Taking a full round of breath here, really feeling into the stretch. And on your next inhale, go ahead and release. We'll just switch sides, so picking up your hips and moving them over to the right side this time. Planting your opposite hand and stretching your right up and overhead, feeling into that lateral stretch now on the right side. Taking a full round of breath here as you open up your chest and reach over. And on your next inhale, go ahead and release. We'll bring our hips back onto our heels, just so we can roll forward back onto our hands and knees. From here, we'll tuck those toes and begin to push your hips high into the sky for your first downward facing dog. So go ahead and pedal it out here, pushing into one heel at a time, really bending into the knees. pushing into both hands. So you're pushing the ground away from you. You're creating this nice long line from your hands all the way up to your hips. And when you're ready, we're going to look forward so that we can step our right foot in between our hands, dropping our back knee, coming into our low lunge. From here, clasping your hands, bringing them up onto your knee, and then pushing away from you. So you're really opening up the chest, and your gaze looks straight out in front of you, maybe finding a point of focus. And as you inhale, if you would like, shooting your hands up towards the sky, bringing your biceps in line with your ears. All the while relaxing your shoulder heads so they're also not creeping up towards your ears. As you exhale, go ahead and release, floating your hands down to frame your foot, and we'll extend that front leg, so coming into a half splits here. Maybe just shifting your hips side to side, just as we did at the beginning of practice, and seeing how that feels in the hamstring. Just taking a couple rounds of breath here to explore the stretch. Feel free to bend into your knee as much as you need to. Flexing in that front foot, seeing how that changes things. As you inhale, just rolling back forward into your low lunge, planting your hands, and then shifting your right knee to meet your left, sinking your hips back onto your heels, stretching your arms forward and dropping your head onto the mat. Coming into your balasana, child's pose, taking a round of breath here. Maybe if you would like, you can bring your hands in a prayer and bending into the elbows so you're bringing it back behind your head, just getting into a nice little tricep stretch here. And go ahead and release, rolling yourself back up so you're seated onto your heels. From here, planting your right hand behind you, lifting yourself up onto your knees and stretching your left hand up towards the sky, coming into this little half camel. As you exhale, we're going to slide things over, coming into our other side. So you plant your left hand as you reach your right hand up. We're going to do that a couple times, this little dancing camel shape as you move side to side, following your breath. Really pushing your hips forward as you lift up onto your knees, stretching your chest open. And completing your last side here. Exhaling as you come back to center and rolling back onto your hands and knees so you can push yourself back into that downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. Then looking forward to the top of the mat, we're going to step our left foot now in between our hands, dropping our back knee and coming into our low lunge. When you're ready, if it feels good, you can clasp those hands, bringing them on top of the knee, and then pushing them away from you so you really open up your chest here. Gaze looks straight out. And if you would like, on your next inhale, go ahead and reach those arms up towards the sky, coming into your full Anjaneyasana. As you exhale, go ahead and release, framing your foot, beginning to lengthen your leg, coming into your half splits. Maybe again swaying your hips side to side here, seeing how it feels to bend into the knee or to slide your heel a little bit farther forward. Just exploring the stretch here, taking a couple rounds of breath. Maybe just observing with a curiosity how this side feels compared to the other. How it feels to flex your foot, Point your foot. Maybe create a flat back or a rounded spine, bending or lengthening in your knee. As you begin to take your next inhale, just slowly rolling forward back into your low lunge and just kicking your left leg back to meet your right. And just taking a little sway in the hips side to side again here. And again, just sitting back onto your heels. We'll bring both of our hands back behind us, squeezing your scapula and pushing your chest up towards the sky. Feeling both a stretch in the pectorals and the quads, or maybe somewhere else in the body too. And go ahead and release, rolling back forward onto your hands and knees, and pushing ourselves back into our downward facing dog. Just noticing if anything's changed here. Maybe you're feeling a little more open. From here, just lifting your right leg now high into the sky, bending your knee, opening up the hip, coming into your tripod, downward facing dog. When you're ready, looking forward, and we're going to step that right leg back up in between our hands, dropping the back knee, coming back into your lunge. And from here, just rolling slightly onto the outer edge of that right foot, bringing your right hand on top of the knee and coming into a gentle twist. Just opening up the chest here. Maybe your gaze looks over that right shoulder. And maybe if you'd like to go deeper, coming into a quad stretch, you can go ahead and bend your left knee, reaching behind you and catching onto that foot, pulling it towards you, all the while dropping your hips down. Not forgetting to breathe here in this deep stretch. If you're holding on to that back foot, then ever so slowly releasing and bringing your hand back to frame your front foot. From here, we're going to bend the knee and swivel that leg back behind us, just so we can sit back onto the heel. Keeping our front leg just as it is, we're going to bring our right arm and push it on the inside of our knee, extending our arm, maybe coming into a Gyan mudra here in both hands. So bringing your pointer finger and your thumb together, extending your 3 fingers out long, and just breathing here as we sink into our sage pose. Maybe it feels good to once again close down the eyes. And as you complete your next exhale, go ahead and release by bringing both your hands out in front of you, and then we'll just swivel ourselves back to face the front of the mat, framing your foot, and then let's pick up that back knee, just so we can step ourselves back into our downward facing dog. Moving into our second side, so planting firmly into your right foot as you lift your left up towards the sky, bending at the knee and opening up the hip for your tripod down dog. Taking an inhale here, and as you exhale, stepping that foot forward to the top of the mat in between your hands, lowering your back knee, setting yourself up into your low lunge. We'll get right into that twist. So rolling onto the outer edge of your left foot and then placing your hand onto your knee and twisting open. Maybe your gaze looks over your left shoulder. And if you would like to go deeper here, maybe bending into that back knee and reaching back to grab onto your foot as you pull your heel in towards you, allowing for your hips to soften and release here. Not forgetting about your breath here in this deep stretch. If you've grabbed onto your back foot, then slowly releasing. Once you're ready, we'll swivel that right leg this time so your heel is just behind your seat. And then sinking yourself back, opening up that left knee and sitting into your sage pose. Maybe you would like to come back into that Gyan mudra again. Maybe using that left arm to push into the inside of your left knee, opening up the hips and the groin here, creating a nice long spine, relaxing your shoulders and breathing. As you complete your next exhale, we'll go ahead and release, bringing our hands out in front of us, just so we can swivel ourselves back into our low lunge, and then kicking that left foot back to meet the right in a downward facing dog. Right away, dropping your knees down, sinking your hips to your heels, and lowering your chest and your forehead onto the earth for your child's pose. We'll slide our hands back to meet our heels for this variation, just really letting your shoulders round inwards, letting yourself melt and relax for a few rounds of breath here. On your next inhale, slowly beginning to roll yourself back up, either staying seated on your heels or coming into a cross-legged seat. Maybe getting a couple wiggles out, whatever feels intuitive to you. And as we close our practice, we'll bring our hands to our heart center, deeply breathing in as we float our hands to the sky. Exhale as you bring them back to your heart. Twice more like that. Inhale up, exhale down. Inhale as you circle up, and exhale, bringing it down to your heart, dropping your chin towards your chest, giving yourself some love and gratitude for taking this time for you. Namaste. Thank you so much for choosing to join me for this floor flow. I hope that it felt good in your body and that you're able to move through the rest of your day with a little more mindfulness. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.